Okay, hey everyone, this is Dave Gagnon here from Integrity Square. We're talking with Bobby Lumia from Gold's Gym. I'll let him give a brief intro. We're going to be talking about the Prospect Wizard today and how it's doing for them at their facilities. Bobby, why don't you give a little bit of an intro as to who you are and what your responsibilities are?
Sure. So my name is Bobby. I'm the general manager of the Gold's Gym in Laval, Quebec, Canada. I'm pretty much responsible for the operations of the facility here, along with a team of managers. And I'm here with David using the app that he recommended and all that.
Great. And how long now has it been for you guys? A couple months?
Yeah, it's a couple of months now. We have the application on our website, which is very interesting because clients do contact us a lot, especially since we do send them, let's say, blast emails, text messages, and reach outs, and we're getting a lot of messages through the application.
Awesome. So let's talk. Actually, what's really interesting is, and this is the first and only time that this has had to happen. When I was talking with Dimitar, you have to have it because of legal regulations. You have to have it in French and English, right?
Exactly. So especially here in Quebec, like we actually have some language policies that companies here have to have everything in French, and the English parts are, let's say, have to be either a lot smaller or very minimal, compared to, let's say, French has to be more dominant than the English.
Right. And we made that happen with your web guy. And he really did a good job there. So we made that happen. Everything is customizable. So talk about how that's been working for you. And actually, before you do that, talk about your existing tech stack. So, the Prospect Wizard is not just for fitness industry and Halo sector, it's vertical agnostic. So talk about your existing tech stack and how you're using the Prospect Wizard in conjunction with whatever your main CRM is and what the experience has been like for you so far.
Mm-hmm. So right now, what I've been using it in my club here mostly is to kind of communicate a lot with clients. So what's very interesting is that, like, let's say clients can surf our website and check out our different promotions, but we're getting a lot of messages from clients who either aren't sure of what our promotions are or our services. If they have any questions, we're also getting existing members like sending us messages as well. So it's a good way to communicate with clients if they have a lot of questions. Since we started with it, we are being able to, like I said, answer a lot of questions with a lot of changes though that have been happening, and clients, as they're trying to communicate with us, we're able to a lot better kind of like direct them in the right path. So either send them the right links as to where to get the information, or to invite them in the gym if it's something specific in our location. But definitely it's not necessarily just specifically for gym industries. It's a good tool to communicate with clients in general.
Yeah, no, for sure. And are you seeing conversions? Are you seeing people actually become members from this?
Yep. So Dimitar has a lot more of the numbers part of it, but I am seeing that, especially though, like sending links to clients and all, clients are responding. Like we are getting like a decent amount of clients like converting, and
Uh-huh.
also, let's say, especially with the renewals in our province too. That's another thing that we do face, is that our renewals have to be done every year. We're not allowed to do the automatic renewal,
I see.
so that's something that, like, we help clients with, and when they message us about their contract information and stuff like that, we can answer them.
Oh, interesting. That's the first I've heard. Okay, and that has to do with the laws of Canada. Okay, that's
Yeah,
interesting.
yeah, yeah.
And so on your end, on the team side, you're the GM. I didn't look at your account. Do you have any other users on the account, or is it just you?
So right now it's just me.
Okay.
Like what I do, like sometimes do is I'll ask the assistant manager to log in for me and answer the clients.
Sure.
Yeah, and really like follow up. But right now it's just myself. That is something interesting though. If we can do to have like let's say other like login users.
Yeah.
So like this like let's say for example, if I'm taking care of something important, then I can pass on the task to someone else. You know.
Yeah. And you're aware, obviously, that you could have as many users as you want on the system.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yeah.
and anytime you wanted to add new users, you could do that yourself, or we'll help you with that. But obviously,
Okay.
you could have as many users as you want. We don't charge for that. So
Okay. Perfect.
just that could make your life a little bit easier. And that brings me actually to my next question. There was a concern like, oh, this is gonna do, it's gonna be bad for my workflow, or I'm not at the computer all day and I'm walking around on the floor, right? Other people are, have told me that they use their phone and they'll take out their phone and just answer a quick text. Sometimes they'll go back to their computer and they'll bang it out there. How have you been finding it to, as a daily part of your day? Like, is it an interruption? Is it part of your day now? How do you think
Yeah.
about it?
So it's a two-part answer really.
Okay.
In my club specifically, there has been a lot of changes. So I had a bit of a challenge to actually get to it. However, um, on a regular time, I found it very interesting because with the application, I was able to answer the clients a lot quicker. So having the phone application, it actually does allow us to answer the clients in real time, so it does help with that communication with a quicker response and all that. Using the application is very practical, like,
Easy,
like like for that reason,
easy to learn, right? Super easy
exactly.
to learn.
Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah,
No,
it's very easy. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. That's a testament to the founder. He made this super easy to learn for sure. So, do you ever what do you use for your main CRM for your do you ABC, or what do you guys use there?
Yes, it's like we do have ABC, which
Hmm.
is our main one,
Yeah,
and we have some associated like programs with them too,
yeah.
and like we'll be able to make calls and messages generally, and then through our website is where we mostly use your service, so that like we can communicate with the clients in real time.
Sure, sure. And
Yeah.
that's the way all of our clients work, right? This is, like I said, vertical agnostic. And some clients will actually export their contacts from the prospect wizard and import them into ABC or MindBody or whatever they're using. And they'll
Mhm.
mark on ABC, lead from prospect wizard, right? Because we have a Zapier integration, as you're aware. Do you do
Yeah.
you do any manual exporting or importing to ABC, or do you just keep them separate? Because a lot of people keep them separate until
Yeah.
they become a member, then they go into ABC, right? So how do you guys work that?
So Dimitar would probably take take care of that a bit more.
Okay.
From my end, we usually use like let's say the ABC or one of the other like programs that we use,
Uh-huh.
uh, and then as soon as like somebody comes in, let's say for a tour or trial, we'll create them like a prospect account, yeah, and then have them use it.
Right.
We often go, so now like we're trying to use the website a lot more, so we're directing a lot of clients towards it, in order
Uh-huh.
to sign up, look at our group classes and all that,
Right.
uh, and then often enough too, they'll even like send us messages about classes, are they canceled and whatnot,
Right.
um, yeah, yeah.
So once they become a member or whatever, then you use ABC in this case to send them text messages. Is that correct?
Yeah. Like, so it's one of ABC's like integrated CRMs
Yeah.
that we usually use to send them the text messages.
Exactly. And a lot of people do the exact same thing, right? Because this is meant for website traffic It has all these other abilities, as you're well aware. You could broadcast, you could build out all these fancy automations, but this is meant for the website and to get them into a conversation. And then once they become a member, boom, they're in ABC, or you import them once a month or whatever Dimitar does. But yeah, that's a really interesting point. A lot of people are quite happy keeping this separated. And talk a little bit now about how you tag them, or do you tag them like member, prospect? Talk about some maybe tips and techniques that you found that may help other users on this system.
Mm-hmm. So like I was saying, like Dimitar, he's a bit more into it. I haven't used a lot of the tags personally.
Okay.
But I do know though that let's say like when I deal with the clients, like I'll direct them in the right place. I don't use the tags, unfortunately, so I don't have much on that one.
Okay.
Yeah, if Dimitar is able to make it, he can probably elaborate on that a bit better.
Oh, no worries. Okay. Anything that you do yourself in particular that you find, this is useful, or, maybe you make a suggestion to another user?
Mm-hmm. I would say that using the application on a daily basis and checking it, I think is a great opportunity to like connect with clients. One thing though that I noticed is that with the application, like whether it's dealing with promotions, maybe like comments that people bring up about the business and stuff like that, is a really great way that like we can use almost like a Google review type of thing, but very live, where you're able to deal to like with the situations like with the clients a lot quicker. That's something that I had noticed is very good about it, is that like with the application especially, we're able to kind of see the like what the feedback of the clients are, and then be able to act upon them, like either to like correct it or to encourage like our internal staff on like what they're doing correctly.
Yeah. So it's functioning. It sounds, if I'm understanding correctly, it's functioning as both customer service to keep current members happy, and also obviously prospects to get their credit cards and get them to become members. Is that fair to say?
Exactly. Yeah.
And I know you don't have the numbers handy, but I'm just curious, if you were to ballpark it, like, would it be 70% of the people are prospects and 30% are members, or 80% are prospects and 20% are members? What just ballpark it,
if I had to throw out like numbers, I would probably say that like 70 to 80% are prospects.
That's great. Yeah.
So people who are directed to our website, and then who ask a lot of questions, because the majority of the questions that are asked are mostly about our memberships, like what our promotions are, what services that we offer. It's a lot of a smaller amount of, let's say, clients who ask us about about the renewals and a few other things, because they'll usually come and see us in person.
Yeah. Perfect. I love it. That's the whole idea. You get them in the door and then they convert. That's, that's great. So would you recommend it for other golds and other facilities? Would this be something you'd recommend to other franchisees and stuff?
I would recommend it. I think that it's a really good tool because like we mentioned, not only does it help to inform, let's say, new clients who are prospecting, but at the same time though, to have like a good customer service to the clients and be able to respond like relatively quickly. I know that sometimes in my case, my emails get backed up, so it's a bit harder to kind of go through them all. But with this app here, it's almost like receiving like a text message, except through the application. So like we can take a look at it and kind of respond very quickly.
Yeah, and that's great. And the last and final question: have you found that since adding the widget to the website, have you found that it's like sort of decreased the frequency of calls, increased the frequency of texts, has maybe made your front desk staff's life a little bit easier? What, less people on the contact us form because they're getting a text message. How has that worked?
So I wouldn't say though that it decreased calls internally. I just think that it kept it stable, and in a way, like, it helps to kind of get clients to like come in. I think it's a really good tool to kind of like manage a lot of the questions and all that, where it kind of pulls people off from just only coming in here and being able to message them through the website. At the same time though, it's also a good tool to try to pull them in, because now you want them to come and see our location and see our facility in order to kind of get that experience once they come in. So I think it's very helpful to like with that.
Yeah, man. Yeah. Well, look, that's why, we put this out there. It's why, we wanted to help the industry, make it very, very cost effective. We rolled this out, quietly right in the middle of COVID when people were really hurting. And it seems to be doing very well for a lot of people, which makes us very happy here at Integrity Square. So I'm really glad it's working out for you. Your database is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger, obviously. Then you can get those numbers into ABC and nurture them from there. So it sounds like you're doing everything right. Hopefully we can get Dimitar on another call, but thank you for taking the time and for your advice and suggestions for current users, and definitely stay in touch with us. Really appreciate it.
And I appreciate you as well with the service though that you're giving us and the time though that you took here today. I really appreciate that.
You got it, man.